Let's talk about some things you might not know about Edgar Allan Poe. I'm super excited for this video. When he was born, he was just Edgar Poe. Edgar was orphaned when he was 2 years old, and the family that took him in had the last name Allan. They made their last name his middle name, and that's also why it's spelled unconventionally. His friends and family called him Eddie. Can you imagine just like this little kid, little Eddie Poe? He was a pretty amazing boxer, long jumper, rower, and swimmer. He held a record for swimming 7 miles against the current up the James River in Richmond, Virginia. When he was 18 years old, he published his first book. Only 50 copies were printed, and nobody really liked it. It's believed that only about 12 copies still survive. It's considered the holy grail of 19th century American literature. The British Museum has 1 copy, and in 2009, a copy sold at Christie's for over $600,000. His story, Murders in the Rue Morgue, created the detective genre. This was over 40 years before the creation of Sherlock Holmes. Although Poe is known for writing poems, horror, and suspense, he's also considered to be one of the earliest American sci-fi writers. He would go on to inspire H.P. Lovecraft and Jules Verne. His parents were both actors, and the year he was born, they were performing in Shakespeare's King Lear, and it's believed that this is why they named him Edgar. Nobody knows what caused the death of Edgar Allan Poe. Theories include alcohol poisoning, a brain tumor, murder, even rabies. It is raining really hard here today and super gloomy, and it seems just fitting for this. Upon his death, he was buried in an unmarked grave in the Poe family plot in Baltimore. 11 years later, his aunt convinced a relative to pay for a marble headstone, but on the way to being delivered, the headstone was destroyed in a runaway train accident. Did you know that every year for 60 years, a mystery guest showed up at Poe's grave? This unknown visitor would show up every year on the birthday of Edgar Allan Poe with drinks and roses.